Good afternoon, everyone. I want to apologize for taking so long to do this video. I started not to do it because I'm not getting that many viewers, and the message that I'm putting out is very important. So I'm beginning to think that maybe the message that I'm putting out is better put out on the streets, maybe instead of on YouTube or videos. Maybe I can reach people better by being on the street. But anyway, I got some motivation to go ahead and do it here. So to begin with, I guess what I'm going to do is kind of like a motivational encouragement type thing. And to begin with, I want to say this. Don't we all want to be 100 or keep it real or want to be straight up about everything? But my question to you today is, why can't we be that way about the way we think about our lives, the circumstances and situations throughout our lives? Think about it. We are who and what we are today because of how we felt and sometimes still feel about things that happened and are happening in our lives. You don't trust people with your heart. Why? Because you got hurt so many times in the past and you chose not to trust. But what if you turned each pain into a growth process on what to do and what not to do in relationships? Eliminated the so-called bad. I say so-called bad because you chose to call it bad. If you kept the good and continued to trust your heart to others, but this time trying something different because you learned the old way didn't work, guess what? You just went from distrustful to romanticist. That's right. Or what about this? You live in a tent or a car. You are working, or even if you're not working, you're comfortable. You don't owe anyone. No one owes you. You're almost happy. Almost. But people keep telling you that you are wrong, that you are not doing good, you're unsuccessful. This makes you wonder and think kind of uncomfortable. But let's stop a moment and define success. Webster says it is the attainment of popularity or profit. Let's say you don't want either of those. Popularity and profit come with a lot of stress and agitation, and you don't want or need that. So have you not achieved your own form of success by living outside the norms of society? Have you not attained your goal, and are you not happy? Tell you a secret. Success is an extremely relative term, meaning it can have many meanings to many different people, and no one's meaning is the right or wrong one. It's just what they mean when they say success. We as individuals must learn to redefine the perimeters of our lives. There is just too much sadness in the world, and there's really no need for us to be this way. We actually did it to ourselves. The things we rationalize, justify, and hypothesize about are not necessarily what we make them out to be. Remember the story we heard in school about the fox and the sour grapes? How he tried so hard to get this bunch of grapes that at first looked so delicious to him. Then after he couldn't get them, he walked away saying, they were probably sour anyway. Were they really sour? I mean, really? When he first saw them, they looked like they could be tasty in his mind. Then when he couldn't get them, to make himself feel better about not having them, he put it in his mind that they were sour. We can change the outcome of every circumstance and or situation in our life simply by taking the time to change the way we think about them, changing how we feel and react toward them. We do not have to be bound or confined by how others define things. Because being poor makes Billy sad, why do I have to be sad if I am poor? Being called names makes Sally mad. Do I have to be mad when someone calls me names? John is in a wheelchair and he feels life has let him down, like life has no meaning for him anymore. How do I have to feel if I wind up in a wheelchair? However I want to. We, you and I, can redefine the perimeters of all that we are and do and become. You are bigger, better, more successful, more powerful than you ever imagined you could be. Did you see the movie Facing the Giants? It was by Sherwood Pictures. In it, they have what football players call a death crawl scene. The players at first could only crawl so far as long as they could see where they were going. But when the coach put a blindfold on them, put extra weight on their backs, and had them make that same crawl, they far exceeded even their own expectations. Mankind in the western parts of the world have become lazy in almost every aspect of our lives. This includes mind as well as body. We will only do what others have done, go as far as others have gone. And hell, maybe occasionally we may go a little bit farther, do a little more if it doesn't take us too far out of our comfort zones. But we are usually completely satisfied to do or go the limit set by ourselves and or others around us. But when we blindfold ourselves to the preconceived notions, ideas, and thoughts of ourselves and others, we can far exceed anything we ever thought or imagined. We can rebuild new perimeters, shape new worlds for ourselves, overcome the so-called giants in our lives. We can go out and defeat some giants ourselves today. Let's keep this 100, as we say. Let's keep it real. What does your life has to show for today? If you live in cynicism, if you live in negativity, I know some people who, on the outside, they claim to like themselves, to love themselves even, but on the inside, they hate themselves. So, what's going on with that? If you keep it real with yourself, I tell all the young people that I come in contact with, keep it real with yourself. That's the first and foremost thing that you have to do to be in harmony with the world, is to keep it real with yourself. Once you start lying to yourself, you don't deceive the world, but you make the rest of your world bad. So what we have to do is learn to keep it real with ourselves. And if you don't like yourself, admit that. And then once you admit that, make yourself like you. If you don't like yourself, others aren't going to like you. If you don't respect yourself, others aren't going to respect you. Make yourself like yourself. It's the greatest thing in the world that you can do for yourself. Make yourself know that by His stripes you were healed a long time ago, so you have no business with illness today. Believe you can fly. Dare to believe that you can fly. Dare to believe that you can reach the heights that you want to reach, that you can grab onto the clouds and the stars. Dare to know this. Matter of fact, stop believing and start knowing this. That you can reach these heights. That you can do the things you want and need to do. That life is not what you perceive it to be, but it's better. If you perceive life in a negative way, make it better by the way you believe. Wake up in the morning and say, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Look in the mirror and say that I can do whatever I desire. I can be whatever I desire. My life is whatever I desire it to be. I control the way I feel and think about my life. You control the way you think and feel about your life. So let's think and feel different. Let's think and feel better about ourselves and our lives. Let's do better. The world is not a big tragedy. We make it a tragedy by the way we think and feel and act. Oh, I can't do any better. I can't get a job. I can't do any better. Hell, I'm half dead. But I don't have to go sell drugs. I don't have to go robbing people. I find a job. So I'm half dead with a felon with felony records as long as 185 in Georgia. But I find jobs. Sometimes it's scary. Sometimes it takes a long time. Sometimes it takes a lot of work. But I find a job because I know I can. I know I can live in this world in a positive, peaceful way. There's not a doubt in my mind. I know that life's not all bad. I know that the man is not out to get me. And if he is, that's on him. Because I know better. There's nothing for him to get me for. You want a better life? You want to do better? You want to live better? It's up to you. Think positive. I'm poor as hell. But you know what? I live like a king. People see me as a king because I perceive myself as a king. People see me as successful because I see myself as successful. People see me as big money because I see myself as big money. As the Apostle Paul once said, I know both how to live in plenty and I know how to live with a little. And I can be satisfied either way. I can be satisfied with much. I can be satisfied with little. What about you? How are you satisfied? My son, he doesn't even care to try and contact me. But you know what? That's on him, not me. I've tried. I've given him everything I could give him in love, affection, and I tried to give him the attention that I could. So I don't have any bad feelings about that. I don't have any bad feelings about my past because it was my past. My past helped me to become who I am today. And today I am a much better person than I was yesterday. A few years ago, I didn't like myself. I wanted someone to kill me because I was too big of a coward to kill myself. Today, I love who I am. I love my life. And you can be and do the same. It's up to you. Get it here. Get it here. You can change your world by the way you think and feel. You can control your attitude and your feelings and your emotions. You control them. And once you learn this, and once you use this to your advantage, your life becomes so much better. You know, I even told a preacher's wife once that I had that peace that passes all understanding. And she couldn't believe me. She was like, well, how in the world can you? It's impossible. You're not happy and satisfied with everything. You're not at peace all the time. No, not all the time, but 90% of the time. And why? How? Because I caught on to the fact that I control my feelings and thoughts and my attitude. I don't have to be mad. I don't have to be angry. I don't have to be sad. I choose to do that. Let's go out today and face some giants and beat them. Have a blessed one. Peace out.